Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Proverbs of Praise. Can we chat for a second? I wanted to talk to you about something I was thinking about the other day, and maybe it'll encourage or support someone else. So I was having a kiki with my therapist. Yes, therapy is important, y'all. It is life-giving. It is invaluable. Yes, you can be a Christian and love the Lord and still go to therapy. It is so necessary. God gave us all the tools, okay? So, just a side note. Anyhow, so I've been having a kiki, and by kiki I mean thug tears were falling. Nah, JK. So I was just asking her. I was like, man, does it ever get to a point where you feel like you've invested all of this energy, this time into developing yourself, doing all this self work, and maybe a situation came up that may have been a trigger for you in the past, and although you reacted differently, it still bothered you. Does that make sense? So there is a particular situation that came up for me this week, and the old me would have just went off, okay? But I collected myself, and I was able to handle it very differently than I was have in the past. And so I was proud of myself for using that energy and directing it into a positive way. But it still bothered me. It definitely still, after the fact, I was thinking about it and was still irritated by it. I was like, dang, I feel like I've done all this personal self-work to be past this, and it's still bothering me. And it actually made me think of a quote. And it was about basically self-work, self-love, and it was, I cannot find it, I've tried to look for it, but it went something to the effect of, if people actually told you that self-work required you to be frustrated and be vulnerable and die to yourself and challenge yourself and cry sometimes and do all of these things, then no one would actually want to do it. But they put this beautiful word called self-love and taking care of yourself. That sounds good, but really it's not easy. And so I was just reminded of that, and my therapist basically said that sometimes those triggers may never go away, but your turnaround time will decrease. So the time in which it remains, bothersome for you, the time in which you take energy to focus on that'll continue to steadily decrease. And so that just gave me a lot of peace, knowing that, okay, exactly where I am, like, it's okay, and that this is normal, and allowed me to recognize I have made a lot of progress, not only in the way that I responded to it, but the time that I'm spending energy on, the time that I'm allowing this to bother me or get in the way of me doing other things is continuing to decrease. And so just an encouragement to you out there, if you feel like, man, why am I still bothered by this, or why does this still trigger me in this way, just knowing that, yes, the work that you're doing on yourself to continue to grow and to reflect, it is valuable, it is necessary, it is important, and ultimately it helps you to be able to free yourself of the energy that you once put into that certain circumstance. That allows you to do so many other beautiful things. And so that's what self-care really means. I hope you are able to be reminded that you're not alone in this walk, in this journey called life, and that, the Lord reminds us that He has a purpose and a plan for everything, in every season, in every circumstance. So be the light wherever you go. Have a blessed day. Hey, beautiful people. I'm inserting this clip at the very end because I'm getting ready to edit the video, and I wanted to make sure I made this clear that I do believe that the Lord can heal all things, right? He says that He is the perfecter and the finisher. And so even those things that triggered you at one point, I do believe that you can be healed from those. And I think also, as healing begins to happen, there will be new things that will be uncovered, right? New triggers that may be uncovered, new areas of growth that are necessary. So ultimately, that self-growth is invaluable. It is so important. It is so necessary, and that it helps you to be a fuller and stronger person. And as you continue to grow in those new levels, that there'll be new areas for you to continue to work on. And that's the exciting part of life, right? You're always finding out new parts of yourself. So just a little bit of encouragement for you to get through the rest of your week. Have a blessed one.